I'm Drew Luther, and I got some pretty good news for you guys, or for fans like me. Um, remember that video I did a long time ago? That was like a little on-demand video from a live stream I did of Robert Zemeckis saying that Who Framed Roger Rabbit 2 would not see the live day. Well, my friend Bobby from Whatbox Studios found this article, and it was on Twitter or X as well, and I've heard some of it, and I'm pretty fucking happy to hear this. So let me read this. Roger Rabbit, copyrighted, reverts to creator Gary K. Wolf. New plans ahead. Gary K. Wolf is the guy who wrote the book before it became a movie. So yeah, it's official. Ownership of Roger Rabbit is successfully back to the hands of creator Gary K. Wolf. I now can have the rights to call to all my characters, all my books. I can basically do my own Roger Rabbit projects. I like to see what the more the more. The information was shared exclusively with I'mNotBad.com and Jessica Rabbit World in a recent interview. The ownership of Roger Rabbit and other beloved characters has successfully transferred back to its originator author, Gary K. Wolf. Reimagining these rights was made possible through the 35-year copyright reversion clause. This clause was designed to give original creators such as songwriters and authors the ability to reclaim rights to their original work after a period of 35 years. This transfer remarks a significant creative shift to the Roger Rabbit universe, now set to expand with various projects on the horizon. Oh boy, I really would love to see those projects come up. Any sequels that we do have at least match the quality of the original 1988 movie in production value, in tone, in script content, in empathy, and character development. It has to be as good or better than what we did before. I agree. It has to be just as good, if not better, than what has been done before. If not, people are not going to like it, and I'm afraid I wouldn't like it. That's what the fans want, of course, and I have promised the fans that's what I'm going to give them. You're fucking awesome, Gary K. Wolf. Finally, somebody who actually listens to their fans. While working on a 12-episode television mystery series, Harry Wolf, set in a gritty Toontown jazz club, questions arose if Wolf, Gary, not the tune, actually owned the rights to use Toontown. Through this research, it was discovered that the rights of Roger Rabbit fell under the 35-year clause. 35 years after you have sold the rights to the book or song, you could petition the Library of Congress and get those rights back. An attorney said to me, "You could get your rights back from Disney." I said, "There's no way that's possible." There's no way that's possible? What are you talking about? But yeah, he should give those rights back to Disney if Disney's not gonna fucking make more of those movies. This raises many questions that don't really have answers yet. Since the case of Roger Rabbit now sets a precedent, many would be understandably curious as to Wolf's current relationship with Disney now that the rights reverted. I expected that this would be a contentious process. Who knows what was going to happen? But it was not. It was very civil, very courteous, very straightforward. Wolf wanted to say Disney was always top notch for me. They treated me very well. They always accommodated me in whatever I wanted to do. Okay, but did you want to make more movies of your work? I'm curious about that. The rights quietly reverted around a year ago, and in that time, Wolf and his team have been putting together elements to create a movie or series that could match up to the 1988 film. Either way, I'd love it. With various possibilities, there are certain things Wolf is focused on. The things that we are looking at now are movies based on my novels, which I now have the rights again. A lot of people have asked, why didn't we do the first movie more closely to Who Censored Roger Rabbit book, with the word balloons and those kinds of characters? well, that's on the table. I heard of how different the book was compared to the movie, and I actually like the movie better. But I'm glad that Gary K. Wolf actually likes the movie too. One project that jumped to the forefront centers around Jessica Rabbit. This will allow Wolf to further flesh out his world and take things in various directions. The one that is most prominent is a live-action Jessica Rabbit movie based on the book Jessica Rabbit: Serious Business. That was the first project that we took a look at the first we started developing. It's probably the one that furthest along the way now. It's worth noting that this project would not be a live-action remake. Okay, that's fine. But a movie based off of Wolf's novels released in 2022, where his world has been reimagined. Either way, news of any Jessica Rabbit projects comes in stark contrast to comics that made by Roger Rabbit movie director Robert Zemeckis in 2024 regarding the character. The video I made about the article I showed you guys I wasn't very happy about. Robert Zemeckis via Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. The current Disney would never make Roger Rabbit today. They can't make a movie with Jessica Rabbit in it. The C. Emmett and Price sequel script isn't ever going to see the light of day. As good as it is, look what they did to Jessica in the theme park. They trussed her up in the trench coat. Jessica Rabbit certainly was covered up in the California attraction only, but this seems to coincide with the rebranding of Toontown into a kid-friendly zone. The change did garner much scrutiny, but one must consider the decision to keep her included right at all. Yeah, I heard that, and I bet that was pretty stupid. Clarifying Disney's view of Jessica, Wolf added, I really don't know where that came from. Bob Z, Robert Zemeckis, Bob is short for Robert, and Z is for Zemeckis. Bob Z was talking about that. I don't really know where that story started. I never heard anyone at Disney say, yeah, she's too hot for us. Steven Spielberg wanted to make a Jessica Rabbit-centric movie. So that means that was actually kind of bullshit or a mistake or misunderstanding that, no, you can make a Roger Rabbit movie today, even with Jessica Rabbit, which is awesome to hear. Steven Spielberg wanted to make a Jessica Rabbit-centric movie. Yeah, I like that idea. I think a lot of fans would love that idea. I would pay to go to the movies to see that. Following recent discussions about movie projects for beloved characters that were ultimately passed over, Jessica Rabbit's return to Wolf offers a chance to finally realize what could have been. That's awesome to hear. On discussing who he would like involved in these projects, Wolf added, I would love to work with Disney again. I'd love for Disney to participate in this. We could partner up on this. There's a core group of people who were involved with the first movie. I would love to work with those people again. Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis, Frank Marshall, Kathleen Kennedy. I'd love to have Charles Fleischer come back as voice Roger Rabbit again. But I'm not exactly... Yeah, I like that too. But I don't know about Kathleen Turner. Not Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Turner, the woman who does the voice of Jessica Rabbit. Because her voice is completely different. Her voice has gotten more deep. So her voice will not fit with Jessica Rabbit anymore. So hopefully they find a good voice actress that sounds just like, if not better than her. I don't know. The process is going to take time, but Wolf remains committed to expanding the world of Roger Rabbit while honoring the legacy of what Disney created. Several interested screenwriters are vying, that's a new word, to add it on their schedule and examine Wolf's novels. Meetings are currently underway. It's a new beginning for Toontown. I'm looking to have fun with this and give fans what they have wanting for 35 years. Wow. This is some awesome news. I'm happy to hear this. More of Roger Rabbit movies are like long overdue. They really are. And I've saw parts of this interview. That's Gary K. Wolf right there, the bald guy who wrote the book, who created the characters. He was talking about like a book like Jessica Rabbit: Serious Business, where Jessica Rabbit has her own movie, and he was talking about where it's taking place in like another universe where how Jessica Rabbit was like a real person, but then she becomes a toon, and it shows how she meets Roger and how all the toons come to life and how Toontown was created. And I really liked that idea. When she becomes a toon, I hope they stick to 2D animation because that's what made the original movie good. That was what made the original movie great. No 3D animation, 2D animation, just like how it was before. Also, it's supposed to be taking place in 1940s, long before 3D computer animation came around. So, yeah. It can start off as live action, but once she becomes a toon, stick with 2D animation. I hope they do that. As long as it looks great, just as good, if not better than the original movie, I'd love it, and the fans would love it too. So, I really would love Gary K. Wolf, Robert Zemeckis, Steven Spielberg, and Disney to not give a shit about the modern audience, okay? As long as they stick to the elements that made the original movie timeless, who gives a shit about the modern audience, okay? But I'm really glad to hear this. I like the concept of what a new project they'll be doing with this. I like have the movie end where, wow, everything's unfolding with Toontown of Roger and Jessica sitting next together, and it would be like a happy ending. I'd really like that. So yeah, it'll take some time. I think this was long overdue, but I'm very excited about this. I'm very happy about this news. I guess what we heard about Disney saying that you can't make a Roger Rabbit movie today because of Jessica, I'm glad that it's either a misunderstanding or just bullshit. Let me know in the comments of what you guys think. Alright, are you excited for this? What are your thoughts? What would you like to see if there was a new project like this? Alright, I got 2,000 subscribers, so I will one day soon be doing movie reviews and shit like that. Alright, guys. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this article I read. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you, Bobby from Whatbox Studios, for sharing this with me. Alright. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.